So hello, it's the end of March 2025. This is a brief video to talk about the fact that I bought a new Apple MacBook M4 Air, and the first couple of days of ownership were a little bit worrying because it seemed that the battery was depleting very quickly. So I've made a few tests, and we're going to run through those tests and see if my panicking alarm was justified or not. So as you can see in this picture, what we're looking at is the MacBook Air M4 on the left, my partner's M2 8GB MacBook Air in the middle, and my outgoing, identically configured M2 8GB M2 MacBook Air on the right. So I've got three MacBook Airs, and the one on the left is the latest one. And I ran a series of tests to find out, was I imagining things, or is the new M4 MacBook Air a battery hog? Let's find out. Bit worrying, eh? So this is the first test I made, which is what I call a rundown test, whereby the laptop is not doing anything, but it is just sitting there with the screen on. The screen is opened, and the wallpaper is black, and all sleeping has been disabled. So there's an option to say sleep when on batteries, it's set to never, and sleep on mains, it's set to never, and screen lock is set to never. So you're just looking at the black screen. There's no applications running except for Finder. And you see that I started the test at 10 o'clock in the evening with 100%, and by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the next day, the machine was basically dead. So it lasted from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the evening to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought that's pretty good. So the idle/rundown test, it passed fine. I compared that to my partner's laptop, and by the way, she's had this for over 2 years and treated it much better than I. So I've got an M2 MacBook Air, and I've got almost half the cycle count because this is her only machine, which she uses all the time. Whereas I only use the MacBook Air when I'm traveling, or when I'm maybe in front of the television surfing, something like that, which is very rare. So this is her rundown test from 100%, starting at roughly the same time. And you see, in fact, that her laptop was dead by about midday the next day. So her laptop's actually much worse than mine. But don't forget, mine's absolutely new, and hers is a 2-year-old laptop. But still, both respectable figures. In fact, the M4 is beating the M2. Well, that's because I would say it's a new battery, and this is a 2-year-old machine. So the next test was the sleeping test, and this is the test that caused my initial concern. I wouldn't say panic, but it's because I don't use the laptop. There could be cases easily where I don't use the laptop for days. She uses the laptop, like I say, it's her only machine, so she uses it all the time. So except when she's sleeping or doing her gardening, she's on the computer. And so for her, the battery drop whilst it's sleeping is much less important. But for me, it's critical. And I'm very pleased to report I must have been imagining things, because here is the M4 sleeping results. You see we're at 100% and at 11 o'clock in the evening. And almost a day later, we're at 80%, 78%. So my worries were completely, I must have been misunderstanding it. Admittedly, in this test, I'd made sure that no other apps were running, although if it's sleeping, can't see why that would matter. The laptop is closed, the laptop is sleeping, and just for Windows users, of course, I'm going to say for Intel Windows users, I will say that Apple only has the sleeping state. You don't configure hibernation or hybrid sleep or shutdown or different types of sleep. It's just sleeping, okay? Because they don't want to worry your little head about things, but actually it's doing a fantastic job. So yes, that's the main point. I'll just say it again. So after almost a day, the battery dropped from 100 down to about 80. And I think that's an excellent drop, all things considered. And the last test was what I call a YouTube Play All. So I went to, in fact, this channel, and there's over 1,000 videos to play. Please feel free. And we started off playing on what I call the Sparkle M4, which is the new M4, which has got nicely covered, sparklies, and the robot skinned M2 and my partner's M2. They didn't all have the same amounts of charge. Sorry to be so professional, but I was in a rush, and let's look at the results anyway. So you'll see that on my new M4 laptop, so this is where it's playing a YouTube a playlist and not stopping, completely not stopping. It's in maximum resolution, so it's in 1080p enhanced bitrate mode. So it's using the Wi-Fi, playing a moving image, and I did have all laptops on mute, otherwise I'd have gone crackers. So you can see I started mine at 10 o'clock in the morning at 62%. I finished at about 4 in the evening, 4:55 in the evening, with 14%. My old faithful M2 robot, again with my bad battery husbandry, went from 81% at 11:40, so a worse battery life. So it ended up about the same as the M4, but it started at 81 and it started an hour later. So the fantastic news is that and my partner's laptop started almost dead, 38, and it went till 2 o'clock. And here's what we can see graphically. So you can see that the Robo M2 went from here like this, and Mr. Sparkle went from here like this, and that's my partner's laptop, which went like that. So overall, the new M4 laptop is a winner. It seems to be doing what I didn't thought I'd seen in the first couple of days, and I was very concerned that I'd made a huge mistake. It seems to be able to suspend or sleep for at least a day and just lose a few percentage points. It can play literally YouTube for hours upon end and still keep going. And if you're just leaving it with the screen open and it's doing nothing, you can absolutely be assured that you can go to work. And so if I'm doing a presentation, let's say it's a long presentation, I can leave that laptop screen open. Laptop's not doing anything except when I'm looking at the laptop for notes and so forth. And for a whole day, it just keeps going. So, Macbook M4 Air with maxed out memory, it's still a winner. Thanks for watching.